We are live. The note comes up every time we go live, and I just feel so compelled to actually announce it to everybody. But if you're watching, you actually know we're live. So today is a real treat. Yesterday, if you saw us at 10:30 on Facebook Live, you know that a group of moms with one guest came on and talked about what we want to never experience again from 2020 and what we see as the silver linings of 2020 and we want to take forward. And so I'm really grateful, but we have 6 kids on with us right now. And rather than walk around wondering what are teens thinking right now, they were gracious enough to say yes and come on and have the same exact conversation, but from their perspective and through their lens. So the first thing we're going to do is let each of them answer 4 questions. They're going to tell you their name, where they live, what grade they're in, and how they learned for the last 9 months in their school system. So I am going to start with Adam, and then he's going to pass it along after that.
My name is Adam Abdur-Rasul. I am a junior at Shaker Heights High School, and for the last 9 months, I've been doing virtual learning at Shaker Heights High School. And pass it on to Ayande.
Good morning. My name is Ayande Joseph, and I also go to Shaker Heights High School. I am a junior, and like Adam, for the last 9 months, we have been doing virtual school. All right, I'll pass it off to Alexa.
Hi, I'm Alexa. I'm from Connecticut. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm going to pass it on. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot. And I'm currently doing a hybrid, and I'm going to pass it on to Marty.
Hi, I'm Marty. I live in Ventura, California. I'm a junior, and I have been all online for the past 9 months, and I'm going to pass it on to Lane.
Hi, I'm Lane Silverman. I'm a senior in high school from Cleveland, Ohio, and I have been hybrid, but just recently changed to completely online. And I'll pass it on to Aiden.
My name's Aiden. I'm a junior in high school in Washington, D.C., and I have been all virtual except for a couple days back in person.
Okay, so first of all, shout out to Marty for getting up this early. Thanks so much. I did not remember you were in California, so all the more thank you. First question we're going to talk about, and also do this a rotation the same way. It's been a rough year. Lots of things that we didn't anticipate happening, lots of losses that we expected to happen. And so my question to each one of you is, what do you want to get rid of as we move into 2021? Like you never want to experience that one thing again. So we're going to start with Alexa.
So I guess this year I've been like really negative, especially with everything that's been going on. And so next year I just want to be like more positive, even if like we're still in like negative situations. I still want to just like look at the bright side of things. And I'll pass it on to Marty.
So I am really tired of social isolation. I miss seeing people, and online school, it's just kind of a bummer. I mean, regular school isn't much better, but you still get the social interaction that you don't get in online school. Okay, I'm going to pass it on to Adam.
Going off of what Marty said, I definitely want to get rid of isolation. For the past 9 months, we've all been either quarantined or we haven't been able to see our relatives in other states, or when we come back, we have to quarantine for 14 days. I haven't gone out of the state, but I personally cannot wait to get out of the state and travel like how it was normally. Also I like virtual learning, but I also want to see my friends without having any cautiousness or any of that. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Lane.
I personally never want to be on Zoom again. I'm very zoomed out. I'm just everything would be on Zoom, like you have your classes, but then in between your classes, there'd be stuff that you do in regular school where you normally like walk down somewhere else to have, I don't know, an assembly or something. And that's also on Zoom. And then your homework is online. And then you want to take a break and you're like, oh, let me watch my show or something. So you're just on your screen all the time. So I just definitely want less screen time going into 2021. And I'll pass it on to Aiden.
I'm anxious to get back to school in person, partially to see my friends, but also just because like online learning is I think it's hard for everyone, especially for kids with learning differences such as myself. And like of the like 2 days that I've been in person, I felt like so much more focused and like I was understanding the material so much better. And I think that I'm excited to be done with that. And I'm also excited to stop seeing like the little quirky email headers that people are using in the times of COVID. I saw one the other day that said, I hope that you're thinking positive and testing negative. And so I'm ready to stop seeing those.
Okay, I love that, Aiden. I never paid attention. Like everyone's trying so hard to grab your attention because, like Lane, we are also fatigued by our screens. That it's like, how clever can you get when you try to grab somebody's attention? So that's great. Those were awesome answers, and I would like to move into what is the flip side of this, where like you're thinking about the year. And there's a surprise in here. Like there's something that you did not know before that you really value and you really appreciate. So I'm going to start with Lane for this one.
For me, I think it would be the friendships that I actually made some new friends over quarantine, which was great. But also just having friends stick around. I guess with the lack of physical and social interaction, it showed like who would really be there, I guess, because you have to really make an effort to be in contact with people. Yeah, I think that's what I would keep. I'll pass it on to Marty.
Let's see. I would definitely keep the wave of activism that started this year. And it was really amazing to see what it was like when everyone was participating in it. And I definitely feel like for some people, it was just, oh, this movement's going on. Okay. For the first month, they were really active. And then people just kind of stopped supporting it actively. And I really think that it should continue into 2021 and forward until all of these social issues can be resolved, because I think it's really amazing what people can do. I'm going to pass it on to Ayande. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
No, all good, all good. For me personally, I would love to take the adaptability with us. I feel like during these times we've had to deal with a lot of changes in our lives, and I know that I think in the long run, us having to change and be susceptible to those changes will make us more beneficial in college and in our later life, and also really emphasizing what Lane said about seeing who the real ones are. I feel like during these times I've been able to notice who hasn't contacted me and who I've had to contact first, and so I think that's definitely like opening my eyes for me to see who's like there for me. And I'll go to Alexa.
Yeah, I also have like really valued like some of my friendships, and I have had like a lot of like problems where I don't know, just like I won't go into it, but like I've had like a lot of friendship problems. So I've definitely seen like who was actually there for me this year, just like in rough times, and like who checks up on me to make sure I'm okay and like who doesn't. And so I've really been like paying attention to that just because we've just had like so much free time in quarantine, and it's actually really like nice. And I'll pass it on to Aiden.
I think that both like the hope that we don't need it, but the ability to connect with others like digitally is important. Like I know that I have like gotten to know some friends like through social media that like I Zoom with like very often, and I feel very connected to these people even though I've never met them in person. So I think that's one thing. And then I think that similarly to what people have said, like the knowing which of your friends and people in your lives like are socially aware, because you're seeing like who is doing their responsibility and social distancing and like and showing their support for social movements and who isn't. So I think that it heightened circumstances kind of show you who's who you should be hanging out with. And then who hasn't gone? Adam?
I think we could take definitely one positive thing from 2020 is that the stress we put on to stay clean. You know, you can't go anywhere without using hand sanitizer. You have your mask on, you're socially distant. So I feel like even when the vaccine comes out, we should still practice those protocols, but not obviously to the same level, but to the same idea that we should still be able to stay clean, healthy, so that way we don't have this problem again where the spread doesn't go all over the world and we have to be quarantined, stuff like that. So I feel like staying clean for, you know, the benefits of yourself and others is what we should definitely carry on, not only to 2021, for the next years and decades.
Okay, you were all profound. Really, really great ideas to bring forward, and some that, you know, we haven't talked about as adults together. So I'm going to share a few of the questions that people asked, and then you guys, I don't know the best way to do this. I guess kind of raise your hand or just, you know, turn off your mute and then answer the question. So if you see someone turn off the mute, wait until they're done. Okay, so Deborah Fish, first of all, hi Deborah, hope you're well. Are any of you guys on athletic teams or activities that are actually still meeting in person with adapted rules, and do you actually think this is helpful and safe?
Yeah, so I do water polo, and we are doing adapted, or we were until break, and we actually just canceled because our COVID cases are going through the roof. In terms of effectiveness, I really think it depends on the sport, because when I'm practicing, I'm surrounded by hyperchlorinated water the entire time, whereas a really high contact dryland sport like basketball could be a totally different story. So, I mean, I think it's fine to a point in various sports, if that makes sense.
Anybody else want to jump in on that one? Alexa?
Yeah, so I don't play any sports, but one of my friends, she plays field hockey, and it's not like the season anymore, but like a month ago she was playing, and they all had to wear masks, and so they were pretty safe.
Adam, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I play basketball for the high school, and I think we're becoming very aware of our surroundings. So, like, for example, we're not allowed to have any spectators at the game so far. So I think that, like, that's a step into realizing that we're taking COVID seriously. So we're of course on the bench, socially distant and socially distanced from other teams when they come in, we exiting the gym and entering the gym. So, and we always have our masks on. So I think we're going into the right direction. I think we're being very safe so far.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I would try to kind of just devil's advocate, provide a different perspective. But yeah, so I played for the soccer team the soccer team during the fall, and I would say to an extent we did a pretty good job. But there were definitely a lot more things that we could have done better and a lot more safer. And I think that for a lot of people, for a lot of students, it raises the question of how we able to have sports but not be in school. So I feel like for some people are kind of confused and like, that doesn't really make that much sense. But I feel like to some extent, my soccer team did a pretty good job at social distancing, wearing masks, and all that stuff. But yeah.
Ayanda, you raise a great point. And so let's move into education, because we had two questions that were kind of the same. And this one is from Sherry. How do you guys feel teachers did reaching out, and what was the most effective way they used to reach out? I'm a high school teacher, by the way, so she wants to get your feedback.
Okay, so my teachers are literally amazing. And so in Google Classroom, like you can always like private comment. And I have no shame when I do that. I always am asking questions on the private comments, and all my teachers literally get back to me right away on any question I have. And they're just really helpful.
That's great. Anyone else want to jump in? How'd your teachers do? Come on. They're not watching. Tell us. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to end with one last question. How are you guys celebrating New Year's? So I'm going to start with Ayande.
That's a great question. I actually do not know yet, but my dad is out of town. He's coming back on New Year's, so I assume they'll probably be doing something as a family. But definitely no parties or anything of that sort. But yeah.
Okay, Adam.
Definitely no parties, nothing like that. I think just staying within my circle, staying at home and enjoying family time. So that way, we don't have to quarantine and stay on track with everything.
Lane.
Yeah, I'm just staying here with my family. I think my friends and I might do Zoom New Year's Eve. I don't know, something.
That's funny, Lane, because you said no more Zoom 2021.
I know, but they asked me, and I was like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, Marty.
Just like everyone else, I'm going to be staying home with my family, probably going to watch a few movies, maybe a socially distant get together with my friends with masks and everything. I'm not quite sure.
You get to be outside because your weather will allow that. Northeast Ohio, it's a little cold. Aiden?
I'm not totally sure yet, but my birthday is the 1st.
Your birthday?
And thank you. And today my brother got his second negative test, which means that I can actually go outside now because I had to quarantine for like the last week. So I think I'll probably see some
Great.
friends
Alexa?
outdoors.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, well, the one thing that I can say is you guys are amazing. I hand over the baton to you to the future for all of us because I trust you to do something grand, and it was just really exciting to have you on here. And I want to thank you one more time for getting up early, really early if you're in California, Marty, and probably still early if you're anywhere else. So thank you so much for your time, all 6 of you, and for your honesty. Thank you. And Happy New Year's and happy birthday, Aiden.